Welcome to today's investigative drama discussing a mysterious red sedan and 3 hackers crafting shotgun art in the park. It's deduction time. The coroner says victims were killed by art pointing to our hackers. The chief sends Ed to handle the art exhibit. The entire police force is out hunting for these artists, but the quirky Bud goes off to chat with Susan's boss, Pierce. Bud suspects Susan's hiding something, but Pierce's confusion shows he didn't know Susan became a display. Pierce runs a creative studio, turning girls into stars. Perhaps Susan just walked for a runway show. Eager to learn more about Susan's artistic achievements, Bud seeks out the black-clad beauty Lynn, the queen bee of Pierce's crew. Lynn claims she's no close friend of Susan, but insists that Pierce is a good employer. She mentions that even while working for Pierce, he never let them handle the forbidden, so the boss seems to have a decent reputation. Meanwhile, Jack and Ed identify 3 art monsters, with ballistics matching their artwork to the exhibit at the crime scene. Yet, one of the hackers insists they don't possess any art. What's going on here? To force a confession, Ed deploys psychological tactics, and soon, a timid one spills the beans. Reluctantly, Ed asks another hacker, but Bud can't hold back anymore and barges into the interrogation room. Under Bud's artful interrogation, the hacker finally reveals the girl's address, but upon arrival, Bud finds her tied to a bed. Seeing her eyes, Bud realizes the killer's presence and cautiously enters the living room, decisively ending the art piece. Bud stages it as a black man attacking an officer, hating those who bully women. If he brought that hacker back to the precinct, he'd get released sooner or later, and Bud isn't about to let that happen. Just as everyone rushes the girl to the ambulance, a wild announcement comes through the earpiece: the 3 art freaks have escaped. If they are not the killers, why flee? The answer is clear: they iced the CAF manager. That same night, Ed finds them again based on leads, and a brawl breaks out. One officer is killed. Ed takes out all 3 art clowns, closing the CAF case. Just when everyone thinks it's over, Ed visits the rescued girl, and her casual comment hits him like a ton of bricks. Things might not be that simple. Meanwhile, Bud suspects the 3 art clowns might not be the culprits after all, and he needs to find proof. He decides to hunt down the real killer for his partner's revenge, starting with Susan's mom. Susan's mom mentions her shady boyfriend. Once absent, a neighbor said Susan returned with him. Mom claimed she heard arguing from inside. Bud shows her a photo of his partner, and she gasps in shock. Bud's partner seems connected to Susan's mom's mucking girl, leaving him puzzled. Just then, a strange smell wafts from the backyard. He cautiously approaches, only to find a secret basement with a long-decayed corpse lying inside. Clearly, this was the guy Susan brought home, but why is he dead here? Shockingly, Bud realizes this is Pierce's old bodyguard, Buzz, the ex-cop met on Christmas Eve. The truth grows murkier with deeper investigation. After discovering the body, Bud decides not to share the grim truth with the elderly victim for their well-being. Meanwhile, Ed traces leads back to Susan's house and learns from the elderly that Bud just left. Ed brings the body back to the precinct, instructing the coroner to keep the identity hush-hush. He reaches out to Jack, asking him to follow Bud, convinced Bud has more leads. But Jack is puzzled why is Ed still chasing after a closed CAF case. So Ed decides to share a story. Everyone has their untold stories, perhaps because no one truly understands what he's endured and the inner struggles he faces. Everyone has secrets behind them, and I certainly don't want those who betray me to get off easy. Bud's words deeply touched Jack, seemingly reigniting his original passion and enthusiasm for being a cop. So he agrees to Ed's request, trailing Bud to a bar the next day where Bud is seeking a snitch for info on Buzz. They were Pierce's man. Bud coerced the snitch, who said everyone's looking for Buzz. How did Buzz score that stash? No one knows where he's at now. But Buzz is already a corpse, and it appears his demise is linked to that stash found buried in Susan's basement. After Buzz's death, Susan and others ended up dead in the CAF, seemingly tied to that drug deal. Bud suspects the case is intertwined with the drug trade, but Buzz's profile doesn't fit with those kinds of drugs. There must be an undiscovered secret lurking here. When night falls, Jack and Ed continue following Bud, only to find him with Lynn. They decide it's time to chat with Pierce, but after their inquiries, they find no valuable leads. Jack and Ed leave empty-handed, only for Pierce to immediately reach out to Jack's small partner. Looks like there's a scheme afoot between the conspiracy and intelligence office, and they are plotting something major. Ed suddenly receives word that the coroner has confirmed the body's identity. He instructs Jack to meet the coroner while he heads to find Lynn to trace Bud's link to Pierce.